What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So I actually haven't made a Master Duel video in quite a while, and the reason for that is because I've lost interest in the game, but I'm still gonna make this metagame breakdown because we've got some new cards for the game, and maybe there's still hope, honestly. I know there's Sword Soul now, there's Destiny Will Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, and I wanted to kind of check out what actually really changed in the format. So before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe, check me out on Twitch and Instagram, and now let's jump right into it. So of course, this breakdown will cover 90 top performing decks from 33 tournaments, that's actually a lot, that were held during the 5th Master Duel season. So yes, wow, this game has already been out for almost half a year. Anyways, the number one played deck is actually Eldritch, shockingly enough. Even though Conquistador is now at 1, nobody cares because the deck is really good in game 1, and obviously in a best out of 1 format, this is actually pretty terrifying. So yeah, Eldritch, really freaking sick deck, and it has a lot of good matchups because, you know, Floodgates are ridiculously good. Are you really going to be main decking Lightning Storm evenly, etc.? So yeah, it's just the kind of deck that if you're not, like, fully built almost to beat the deck, you're kind of screwed, because if you draw, like, a bunch of hand traps, it's not going to be super great against Eldritch, but Eldritch can definitely play hand traps against you, like Max C at least, or it can choose not to play Max C and play maybe Lava Golem, etc. So it is really flexible, and it's really, like I said, hard to catch Eldritch off guard, whereas the opposite is easy to do. The second best deck apparently is Tri Brigade, which I actually believe is not great because, yeah, I don't know, you're gonna see very soon. The third best deck is Shadow. This makes a lot of sense. The 60 card build is ridiculously good. Sword Soul, very good. I know some people have been experimenting with Denglong, and apparently was like ridiculously unfair in the Master Duel season. Then after that, we have Phantom Knight. This deck became way better thanks to Phoenix Enforcer. Now we're kind of like back in a format that just doesn't exist now because there's still Verte, so Phoenix Enforcer is actually really unfair. And Phantom Knight is like back to being like ridiculously tier 0 with, you know, Phoenix Enforcer, Verte, Rongo Miniat, so many options, so Phantom Knight is really broken. I keep saying that. Brandish, so Sky Striker, 4 of them are playing with the Phoenix Enforcer package and only 1 of them is playing without. Virtual World, wow, 1 Sword Soul Virtual World, that's like a completely different build. It's really combo oriented, so it doesn't really play a lot of hand traps, but its end boards are super insane. And then after that, we have Drytron, Huge Fall from Heaven, Lunalight, Fairy Tail, Kaiju, oh my god. Prank Kids, okay, Tenyi, Lunalight, what is Tenyi, by the way? Is that Tenyi Sword Soul? Lunalight, Orcus, Salamangreat, Tri Brigade, Lyrilusk, Adignister, Destiny Dinosaur, Rocket, Thunder Dragon, Dragonlink, Fluffle, Adamancipator, wow, very interesting. I really was expecting that deck to do so much better. Anyways, Hero, Math Mech, wow, pre-support. Phantom Knight, Blackwing, what the... Well, that's technically Blackwing, it's just that it's featuring like 1 Phantom Knight monster. So it shouldn't actually be called Phantom Knight Blackwing. Just like some of these decks shouldn't be called Destiny, but rather just the deck featuring Phoenix Enforcer. And then Spiral, True Draco, and Zodiac. Alrighty, so now... Wow, what the heck was that? Anyways, alright, the first deck, of course, Eldritch. So, as I said, some people are main decking Lava Golem. Also, Lord of the Heavenly Prison. So even if you have Duster or Lightning Storm, well, you're not going to be super happy if you draw it when your opponent has Lord of the Heavenly Prison. On top of this card being able to search out pretty much any Floodgate from your deck, or a consistency searcher, whatever, a consistency card, a starter like Extravagance, Crystal Land, etc. So very good card. And Lava Golem is that kind of card where you can draw multiples, and it's not that bad because if you draw 2 Lava Golem, you can Lava Golem your opponent once, and if your opponent has exactly 2 monsters after, so if you had 3 monsters before, you can Lava Golem again. So, or if your opponent had 4 monsters that you would want to Lava Golem, you can do that as well. It's not like Sphere Mode, which actually is a normal summon. So, obviously, you can't Lava Golem under Vanity's Emptiness, whereas you can Sphere Mode. But, I mean, are people really going to flip Vanity's Emptiness on standby? Maybe. It depends. Obviously, if people end on, like, a massive big board and they have Emptiness, maybe. But apart from that, I don't know. People usually don't really think about that. And yeah, 2 Eldritch the Golden Lord, definitely the best ratio. Only 1 Conquistador because it's now limited. Definitely a huge nerf, but apparently the deck is still really good. Triple Punishment, double Ice Dragon's Prison, triple Strike, triple Skill Drain, double Summon Limit, and double Goes and Match in the main deck. That's actually ridiculous. So if you go first, if you win the dice roll and your opponent draws a bunch of hand traps and you have either Summon Limit or Goes and Match against Sword Soul, for example, the game is over. End of... Everything is all over. This is actually ridiculous how this card can basically be a 1-card FTK, because you never have to special summon more than 2 times. You just go like Scarlet to summon Eldritch, and then Conquistador pops something, and that's like your 2 summons. So your opponent loses to the, well, sorry, to summon limit, and goes in match obviously never affects you because everything is a light zombie. So you can even play a Rivalry of Warlords if you want to, or there can only be one because Golden Lord beatdown is also something that you can do. But yeah, summon limit going first, oh my god. Yeah, especially again in a best out of one, it's so unfair. And yeah, the extra deck has a lot of cards that you can just send with punishment. How expensive is the deck? A lot of super rares, huh? Oh my god, it's like the deck with the highest amount of super rares, I feel like. Yeah, not a lot of rares or commons either outside of like punishment and these two continuous chops. So yeah, if you have a lot of currency, then yeah, this is probably one of the better decks to play. All right, Sword Soul. Another relatively hard to get deck because, as we can clearly see, it's playing Crossout Designator, so a lot of freaking ultra rares. Maxi, Ash, Imperm. Obviously, hand traps are always ultra rares, so that's really, really hard to get your hands on this deck, and especially the extra deck cards have a tendency to be super expensive. Yeah, nobody really plays Token Collector in best out of one format, so Sword Soul is actually kind of broken because there's, obviously, like I said, no side deck, so if you make your turn 1 board, chances are you'll usually be, you know, fine against pretty much everyone, but I feel like the deck is way too fair. So even if you go first and everything goes well for you, you might just not be able to do enough. But obviously Protoss is like unfair, so that's the reason why I wouldn't play a dark-based deck like Phantom Knight in this format. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense when everybody's playing Sword Soul. So I think the best decks are probably Eldritch and Sword Soul for that reason, actually, because of the fact that Protoss is still a thing. Now, this isn't the build with Dengalong. I don't know if it still exists, but whatever. I know I've heard about it. But yeah, no, not a lot of tiny monsters. Only one Vishuddha, that's it, that's all. I don't know if I'm a really big fan of that, but because of Maxi, things kind of change a bit. And yeah, one Sacred Summit. This is a card that we've seen a lot of people drop recently in the TCG. Well, not even that recently. I feel like for the longest time, people have just been messing around with only playing, well, with playing 0 copies of this card. And for the most part, people before were playing 1, but even then, they weren't sure if they should play this card. I like it as a one-of, but you can live without it, so yeah. And then 2 Tai, 3 Moye, 3 Long Yuan, that's always what we see, 3 Incredible Ecclesia. Alright, for Shaddoll now, wow, okay. Very interesting deck. It's probably the deck that plays the highest amount of hand traps, but it plays 60 cards, so it makes sense. So triple Valor, triple Maxi, double Gamma, triple Ash, triple Bell, and double Imperm. 3, 6, 8, 11, 14, 16 hand traps. Oh my god. Unless if I counted this wrong. But yeah, 16 hand traps in a 60 card deck. I think that translates to around 11 hand traps in a 40 card deck, which is, it's not that it's average, it's definitely a lot, but obviously you're playing Maxi as well, so it's like an extra 3 hand traps that we wouldn't have in the TCG. So that's almost as if you're playing like a 14 hand traps in your 40 card deck in the TCG, which is like way too much. But the thing is, in 60 card decks, hand traps are a bit better because you don't draw duplicates as often, since you kind of drown them with other cards. So you can see like a lot of different hand traps, which allows you to answer a lot of different situations. And on top of that, you abuse that grass looks greener, and you play a lot of just juice cards. You have a lot of options as well, so I'm just honestly a big fan of 60 card decks, the options, the power, the consistency, etc. But yeah, obviously, as you can tell, this deck can abuse Verte to summon the Phoenix Enforcer. It can actually just draw the Fusion Destiny because it's not like you're trying to... Yeah, like, you really don't mind just fusion summoning first, being locked under fusions if there's something that locks you under fusion, which there's none from what I can see. And then after that, Fusion Destiny, so yeah, just the Invoke package is also really good. It also always had synergy with the Shaddoll cards. It was a deck, I think, during Spiral format in 2020, just before the coronavirus. That was the best deck, as well as Spiral, obviously featuring Magician Souls. And now this is basically just like a... kind of like an OCG version, 60 cards, and the very high amount of Shaddoll monsters, because now we can see the triple Hedgehog, triple Skomata, 1 Dragon, 1 Wendy, 1 Ariel, 1 Beast. I think before it was like only 6 Shaddoll monsters, big max. Now we have like over 10 or something crazy. So yeah, and also the Phoenix Enforcer package. which you're gonna see the bricks less often, which I really like. Now, the big Destiny Hero monster in this deck isn't, well, hold on, he's actually playing 3 monsters that you can actually fuse using Fusion Destiny. So there's the Neos that you can send from the deck to the grave, as well as the Celestial, but I don't know why you would necessarily want to play 3. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, anyways, if you summon Winda turn 1 against Sword Soul, you always win. Even against Eldritch, it can be kind of decent, but it really depends on your timing, because Schism is actually an unfair card. So if your opponent has incorrect timing and tries to go activate the 2 special summon cards in one chain, you can go chaining 3 Schism, and only the freaking Eldritch will be summoned, but not the Conquistador. It'll just be face up on the field, doing nothing at all. Anyways, the final deck here, I believe, is Tri-Brigade. So nothing huge to cover here. I mean, the deck definitely got a huge nerf because Phoenix Enforcer can now pop your normal summon, so that you get even less of an ability to play going second. So yeah, the deck is kind of like almost that build to go second now, with Dark Ruler in the main deck, way less hand traps. But actually, still 10 hand traps, which is a lot, but for Tri-Brigade, it's almost average at this point. This is like one of the most simple decks I've ever seen in my entire life. Triple Nerval, double Karas, double Kid, double Fractale, that's it, that's all for the engine cards. Obviously, triple Rescue Cat, but like, bro, you're not even playing Gamma, so if you get ashed on the Rescue Cat, you're pretty much passing turn, unless you have like Cross Out or Carl by the Grave. This deck is so cookie cutter, you can have an IQ of 5 and probably pilot this deck correctly. Even the extra deck is built to absolute freaking minimalism. In the turn 1 board is the exact same thing every single time. Exactly as, I don't know if this is Akira. Of course it's Akira. Huge shoutouts to you, Akira. But yeah, the turn 1 board is always the same. It's like, I make Verte Anaconda, I have Bear Broom on the field, and then I pay 2k, send Fusion Destiny, summon Phoenix Enforcer, and then I go Phoenix Enforcer, pop my own Bear Broom, and then this is going to be searching the Revolt, and then the Phoenix Enforcer will come back. Because if I send the Bear Broom to the graveyard, I cannot summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except Tri-Brigade monsters. So instead of linking off the Bear Broom, I destroy it using my own Phoenix Enforcer. So that is the combo, but, bro, seriously. And, yeah, no, just, personally not a big fan of this deck at all. If you're playing Master Duel, please don't play, Tri-Brigade. It's just no longer good because of the ban list. So that's pretty much it for this metagame breakdown. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.